Going on, everybody? I want to give some news, some jewels. I see what's going on out there, and I wanted to, you know, give my give my little opinion. For some reason, my phone didn't want to go turn, saying it's locked, but I don't have it locked. But what I want to talk to you about, no matter how I have to set this up, is I want to talk to you about should you and how you should be running your business. When we start with very little with our businesses, and little to nothing. And sometimes you start with nothing but how to do one thing right. And the issue that I want to talk about right now is once you get to a level, I think at $100,000, when your business is making that, you should definitely have a bookkeeper and a CPA. Also, at $100,000, you should have subcontractors doing the things you're not necessarily excellent at. When you go above that, and when you're able to, even pay yourself $100,000, you definitely need a team like mine, a company like mine, because you don't even know what the earnings before interest, the taxes, depreciation, and all that jazz. You're like, Evan, what is that? You don't know what all this stuff is. You have no clue. And that's where we come and sort you out. And we don't say we do it all for you. We actually help you get your lawyers, get your CPAs, get your bookkeepers, and get a team that you can work with. I'm at a point where I'm not at a point, I don't even talk to anybody that I don't really enjoy being around. And that was a blessing. The first goal was being able to buy whatever you want to buy at the grocery store, right? Laszlo Hire needs, I want to just be able to have some things. But now it's like, I only want to do business, and I'm hiring right now for some AI stuff. And I'm going through my circle that I know that can do it, but not everyone has the time. And then talking to even some new people, you know, I think I overshot and told people my budget, but just because that's the top tier of my budget is not meaning that that's what we're getting right now, because there's going to be quirks and kinks and things that are going to have to be fixed, right? So again, at a certain stage, you can't handle every task. If you're a great plumber or electrician out there, or AC guy or lady, pool lady or guy, doing your books, you're probably not needing to do your books after you made your first 100,000. It's not that you don't ever look at it, but you hire people so you can do more of what you're great at, because you're not a bookkeeper. And I think that's the problem that I'm seeing. Entrepreneurs are wanting to be the talent and the business behind the scenes, and then how much time you waste trying to figure everything out instead of getting an expert. There's a lot of things I know how to do in development and code and AI, but there's somebody who can do it in half the time or better than I can do. So if that makes sense to you, but when you try to sit there and do it all, and if that doesn't, if I don't really understand coding or public relations, or I don't really understand how to get residencies or citizenships or business or stock or crypto. I don't understand those things. And we have to wait for you to catch up. Your whole business model is flawed. And I can tell you, you are going to lose hundreds of thousands, if not millions, because of the things you don't know, and that, it has to make sense. And sometimes people will wrap that up in they'll try to wrap it up in, God doesn't, no, 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 no. God gave you the money, God gave you the plan, God gave you the freedom to do what you want. So don't blame Him for your mismanagement. Sometimes people will say, my kids, if not for my kids. Well, who told you to have kids if you didn't have proper planning, especially if you're not married? Oh, my spouse Who told you to marry that person or not be able to tell that person no? It's just kind of it's amazing sometimes that we blame everybody but ourselves and then don't try to get out of that real quick. I'm telling you, I'm going through a hiring. It's a blessing because I have over two handfuls of people who want to work with me on this project saying, yeah, we can do that. I've worked here, I've worked for Microsoft, I've done this, I've done that. And it's like, cool. Who can do it in 7 weeks or less? And who can do it with, the functionality that I want and don't try to hit me over the head. So, hey, I'm just telling you, we're none of us are experts in anything. All the things that I have mentioned, I have or have had, and we can get that real quick and help people. But the truth of the matter is, entrepreneurship needs to be taught in elementary. Entrepreneurship needs to be practiced by middle school. Entrepreneurship needs to have classes all through, every type of high school from the prisons to what entrepreneurship is the now. That's what you can bank on, especially if you have a good idea or if you're handy or if you're able to just go out there and hustle like nobody else. The thing is, just because you can create the business, and I say it a lot of times to athletes and entertainers, is just because you know how to make the money doesn't mean you know how to manage the money. And the fact that your appetite is Charleston White, shout out to Charleston White. Your appetite is what, two cats fighting, or the cops abusing somebody, or the cops getting beat up. Your appetite is low. Your appetite is not where it needs to be to win in life. So I want you to win in life. At CPR Firm, that's what we do. It's Coleman Public Relations and Consulting Firm. We say CPRFIRM.com for short. And I have a track record. I have a track record of helping people who want to be helped, who want to work hard, who want to push to the next level. And if that's you, I want you to hit me up in the inbox. I'm easy to find. All my contact information is there, KC at CPRFIRM.com for short. But stop trying to figure everything out because you're killing your business. Stop trying to figure everything out because you haven't even started your business. You have this great idea, but you got to start. You got to push forward. You got to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put my money in the mouth. And sometimes I look and I say, hey, what are my AI costs going to be this month? You know what? So what? If we have the 2 pennies to put towards it, if we don't do it, somebody else is going to do it or they've already done it. And then we're going to say, oh, we wish we did that. And then have to white label their stuff instead of creating our own straight, fresh from scratch. I'd like to hear from you guys and why you think, especially in certain communities, people can't ask for help. People can't depend on people, and I hear people say, "Oh, I don't trust, and that's usually a flaw within you when you look deep into it. If you have trust issues, it's not because somebody what they did to you; it's how you reacted to that. And when people don't trust, you aren't hurting anybody but yourself. Now, I'm not saying leave everybody with your kids, because when it comes to that, I always know where my kids are at, and they might even have a body cam in case Batman needs to come through. But my whole business is helping people. My whole business is creating things like MillionaireX.ai for those just listening and passing. That's on my hat. That's my whole business. That's been the business model for over 20 years. And one thing we refuse to do is try to outshine the next person for you to say, hey, are we good? When people get with me, they say, oh, wow, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. So you guys be blessed. I got a business interviews going and flowing. All right.